Watch me deconstruct the last 3 garments from my sewing closet to repurpose the materials for future projects.
Phew, that was a mouthful. I can envision projects and opportunities to repurpose almost everything, so I try my best to salvage as much as possible. I'm starting with these brown corduroy pants, and side note, this video is going to be sped up, otherwise it would be way too much to see for way too long. At least, that's what I think. Fashion is an art like so many other forms, but sustainability has become a large focus in my life as I've grown. Real quick, do you ever consider the waste we create? I do, and in the most minuscule ways. Did you know the US throws away up to 11.3 million tons of textile waste each year? That's around 2,150 pieces of clothing each second. That's a lot of clothes. From middle school to now, I've collected clothes through thrifting, shopping, and receiving hand-me-downs, and formed attachments to ones that were comfortable against my skin or had a nice texture or design to them. When it comes to my fashion sense, comfort is key are words I've always lived by. As buttons fell off, holes started to appear, and seams started to rip, the words, "I can do something with this," always lingered in the back of my mind. So I've collected quite a lot of garments over time, much more than I realized until recently, and you'll see what I mean at the end. Since sustainability is constantly on my mind, I find myself also saving much smaller materials now, so I'll have to get creative with how I put those to use as well. It's like a puzzle for me to figure out, so I enjoy the challenge. Plus, it keeps me busy, maybe a little too busy.
Sometimes I get so engrossed in a task for a project and I lose track of time. So I have a habit of feeling like I've lost time to be productive, but I try my best to remind myself that progress is not linear.
Anyway, I am currently spring cleaning in my studio, and cleaning out and reorganizing my sewing closet was a very big task to tackle. So what you're kind of seeing is the result of that. Everything in this area is stored very specifically, which forces me to stay organized. That includes clothes that I have ideas for, some that require TLC mending, sorted fabrics, and other salvaged materials. I've seen other videos where people will keep all their scraps in a huge bag, and correct me if I'm wrong, many just toss it away without a second thought. Sometimes I look at the things I'm collecting and kind of giggle at myself because I don't know anyone else that's doing this the way I am, but I am determined to give everything down to the threads another chance at life. So, keeping everything as organized as possible makes it a lot easier on my brain. At least, as I build my arsenal, I can imagine how I will reuse everything and which materials match best with each other. It is tedious work, but creating has always been therapeutic for me. Many materials like these loops will be incorporated into garments and other projects. The scraps that are smaller than my palm get organized into jars. Bigger ones are large enough to be sewn into blocks, while the smaller ones are more than likely to be used as stuffing when needed.
Like the rest of my closet, these jars are starting to get pretty packed. That's a big reason why I haven't brought many new pieces into my wardrobe lately.
There are more than enough clothes in my closet right now, so I'm trying to consume consciously. Scraps that are bigger than my hand are organized in this bin. I cut cardboard up to wrap the scraps around so that it would be easier to see each fabric better, but it is a little unorganized at the moment. Being that I never got clothes with good-sized pockets growing up, if any, you have no idea how excited I am to add these functional beauties into the equation. At this point though, some of these bins are getting so full that I can't even get them to close shut.
Besides this one jar, I have a whole inventory of buttons. One of the pants had a single button, so it goes in with the misfits since it doesn't have a group.
These salvaged zipper closures will probably be the most challenging for me to repurpose, but I'll leave that for future me to think about. I would have stored the last 3 fabrics in this bin, but as you can see it is very packed, so I wanted to show it off at least. From the threads to the seams, I am considering how to use everything in its entirety. Though these bags will be moved as I continue redecorating my space, this will be one of the bigger and longer side projects for me to tackle, especially since it's all out in the open. These were tucked away for so long that I realized that I am the type that needs to see things constantly to make sure that the task actually gets done. And now that the last of my materials have been deconstructed, organizing them away is the most satisfying part. The shelf that every jar and bin are stored on is placed sideways in this closet, so it's a super tight space for even me to see and reach into, but again, it forces me to stay organized, so I don't mind it. This also keeps me aware of how much I can add in, which at this point isn't much. Since there isn't enough space in the bins, I started storing extra fabric on the top shelf of my closet, and there's so much more up there too. As you can see, it's kind of tough for me to let go. My thrifting and clothes shopping game has slowed down a lot since realizing I have too much in my possession. So yeah, I really can't bring any more in. In the near future, I will be working on a lot of clothing projects in order to clear up space since I literally have none. There are a bunch of clothes that I forgot I even had or thought I lost over time, but after recently rediscovering them and rekindling that fire, I realized that many just need a little attention before seeing the world again. I view each garment as an experience to navigate and learn from. Each is a project to document and share with those who are interested in my journey and constant evolution. Here is a quick go-over of just some of the clothes that I have to work on. I've got some work ahead of me, but I accept all the challenges. In conclusion, I am an organized hoarder. At least, these are the vibes I've been giving myself while editing this. And even though my mom would get so mad at me, it always felt right to cut up my clothes ever since I could use scissors. With my free spirit, I'm excited to create and recreate some ideas that have been resting in my mind and to document and share each failure and success. Thank you for your presence and energy. I'll see you soon. Love, Glendale.